And this again is from via Hip Hop DX. So it says Blockhead explains why nostalgia is a scam, including some of the hip hop that we grew up on. So I want to read a couple comments, and we'll see what you guys think. So, let's see, where's the first one? He says, and this is in regards to the title of his album. Nostalgia is a Scam is the new single, but the forthcoming album is called Space Wolverines Will Be the End of Us All. So,
is that a 𝐀𝐁𝐎f album?
Wow.
No,
sure?
Space. You know what? I take that back. Space Werewolves will be the end of us all.
You just had X-Men on the brain.
Yeah, I
You
was thinking
talking about
X-Men.
Wolverines.
Yeah.
Still could be a 𝐀𝐁𝐎f album.
Or University of Michigan.
Whatever. Yeah. But he says the title is half joking and half serious. He says, on one hand, nostalgia is everything. We all appreciate it, and it's those things we are nostalgic about that often shaped us into the adults that we are. He says, that said, some things we all must admit is that a lot of the stuff that we grew up on didn't age well, and that's okay. Just because something is old and rare doesn't mean it is good, or just because something meant a lot to us at a certain point in time of our lives doesn't mean it has to forever hold that same weight. To take that further, a lot of the issues in this country are based off nostalgia. So he got a little heavy right there. And then he also says, I've made a career off sampling older music, he admits. He says, what can I say? We all fall victim to scams on some level. He said, also, I'd like to add that most of my song titles are jokes and fairly arbitrary, and this particular one basically is a tweet turn song title, so don't get mad. So, but as regards to what he's talking about with nostalgia, I've had this conversation before. We've all kind of hit on it, but I've never heard someone come out, just pretty much take this angle on it and turn it to a record like nostalgia is a scam. But based off what I read from him, Jay Moore, I'll come to you first. How do you feel about that, man? Because there are time periods, we've talked about it, where you connect to something, but everything don't age well. I do agree with that. Certain stuff we listen to and we're like, yeah, this was dope when I was, right, whatever age. But as I listen to it now as a fully developed grown man, it's like, I was really rocking this in my car when I was 16, 17 years old.
Like Get Crunked Up.
If you want to do that, that's cool. We'll take Get Crunked Up.
Shout out to the icon.
I just had to throw myself out there.
Go ahead and put that out there. Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
I never liked that song.
Of course you didn't.
I did. I swear I did.
I didn't either. All right, go ahead, Jay Moore. What do you think about this, man? I'm with Terry on that.
So yeah,
I was cool on that. I was cool on that back then. I will say that.
I mean, they were on a major label. It got a push. Their video was on TV.
Get crunked up.
I was cool.
Get crunked.
I didn't even know Lone was riding around Anderson to that. So now I know. I think we know your friends.
CD.
Yeah. I remember. I remember there was a girl in there that was on a MTV True Life.
Oh yeah.
Because she had.
True Life. I don't like good music.
No, I wish. This shows how deep I get into the hip hop and the trivia.
Yeah,
it was True Life. I don't like my breasts.
What?
And she
was close.
And she was fine. And she had got a breast reduction. And her boyfriend was like, "Man, I don't know why you would do that." But she wound up getting into the Get Crunked Up video, and she was real proud of herself for getting into the Get Crunked Up video.
Well, hey,
bless her heart, man. That's what
did she do since then?
Oh, come on now.
Or was that her Al Bundy moment?
That was her. Yeah, that was her 4 touchdowns.
Let me tell you, the Miami hip hop scene. That's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Is nostalgia a scam, man? Talk to me, man.
No, nostalgia's not a scam because it also nostalgia.
And don't say Ice-T, man.
No, I'm not going to say Ice-T because I've already said Ice-T this episode. Y'all already
you only get one Ice-T per episode, bro.
No,
only one.
No, because first of all, nostalgia is subjective.
Okay.
I feel some kind of way about Bell Biv DeVoe because that was the first concert I ever went to. And I saw them, and like that was a time when I was first going out to little dances, and I thought I was fly with my 𝐀𝐁𝐎fs.
Hey,
you was there when they had the big beeper on the stage.
Yeah, I was there for that, for the Triple Threat tour.
Yeah, there you go.
At the arena in
Don't
St.
lose
Louis.
your train of thought. But what did you wear to the dance? What was the outfit? The whole outfit.
To the concert or to the dance?
Like when you said like, it was back.
Oh yeah,
silk
what you
suit.
wore is you wore. I had they weren't 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐵𝐻𝑒s because 𝐀𝐁𝐿 were
You had a
expensive.
used outfit.
No, I didn't get used or damaged. My parents wasn't going for nothing
Okay.
used or damaged.
Okay.
They just
Shout out
the
to you
concept.
folks for that.
So they were 𝐀𝐁𝐵𝐻𝑒 style,
Okay.
like the pants, because 𝐀𝐁𝐵𝐻𝑒s were expensive. They was like $70 for the pants. And
My mama.
now I would get that, and I would have. See, I thought I was fly, so I would get like a rayon shirt.
Oh,
Remember when rayon was
Rayon
really
silk.
pop? Yeah, if you felt like it was silk.
okay.
But it wasn't. It was rayon, and you felt like it was a little nicer than just your regular cotton button up
Okay.
that you
You
would wear
liked
to
how
church.
you liked how it would flow when you would do the running man.
Yeah, so you know,
So that's
you
a
had a
bar.
little bit more if the wind caught you the right way,
Yeah.
and you had your 𝐀𝐁𝐵𝐻𝑒s on and your rayon shirt. I had a gray and a white one, you know. So that's what
Okay.
that's how I would get fly and with my Pops watch.
Hey.
Pops watch.
okay. Okay.
No, so
But back to the scan nostalgia.
if you're 5 years older than me or 5 years younger than me, that bit of nostalgia means absolutely nothing to you.
Absolutely correct.
I like that.
You know, so I mean, it's just like I think I talked about it either offline or maybe pre-show. Like I'm a fan of the original Transformers show, and I go back and watch that show now, and I'm like, the animation in the show is terrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially during the third season.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes nostalgia can, like, you know, the only reason you like something is because you remember it from when you were a child.
Yeah.
And it hits you at a certain point of your life.
Gummy
It's kind of like,
bears.
yeah, when you play certain video games, you go back and play old Nintendo games. The reason we talk about the same 30 Nintendo games is because there's really only about 30 to 50 good Nintendo games out of the 700 they
You're
released.
being a pretty
What is he being?
generous.
He's being
Yeah, most of the original Nintendo games. You know why we talk about Tecmo Bowl so much? Because that's the only Tecmo Bowl
Fire.
and Tecmo Super Bowl are the only good football games
Yeah.
on the that entire time.
Yeah.
The rest of those football games, John Elway football and 10-yard fight and touchdown fever, all those games are trash.
I'm pro Super Bowl over the first one. I ain't
You
gonna
know, there's actually a game called NFL football, and you know what? It's trash.
Trash.
And so that's part of the reason why we have so much admiration and nostalgia for Tecmo Bowl, because it was the only good game that was available. You know, and we can do the same thing for music. Sometimes it lives up to what we remember. Like when I go back, I think about the special time when I was a freshman in college and Only Built for Cuban Links and Liquid Swords, and then Busta Rhymes' first album, and All Eyes on Me. All those songs came out, all those albums came out my freshman year. And you know what? Those albums still stand up. But
this
there's
day.
still some records where I go back and I'm like, yeah, I only like this. Like I go back, I'm like, what was I thinking about?
Yeah.
You know, and I know this is hard for people to listen to. I go back and listen to the East 1999 Eternal.
Be careful.
I'm sorry.
Be careful.
It doesn't hold up the way those other records hold up.
All right.
You know,
can't wait to read the comments.
but once again,
I haven't
once
listened to it
again,
in a while, but that was my jam though.
but once
Man.
again, that's why I'm saying nostalgia is subjective.
Okay.
It depends on what you were doing in your life,
Yeah.
how old you were, and where you were.
Jump in.
Yeah, it's definitely subjective, but in the same token, nostalgia is needed to function almost. You know what I'm saying? Everything
Okay.
is tied to nostalgia. Even smells. Like, have you ever been driving down the street or something and you caught a smell from outside
Trigger something.
that immediately puts you back to where you were at a certain time? It's like an automatic rewind button almost. I think we need those moments just for the spoils of life. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anything wrong with nostalgia. I don't think it's a scam either. Like, how does he break it down as far as it being a scam? Like, is he saying that calling something nostalgic or having a certain sound musically is cheating? Is that what he's doing?
I think he's probably saying that just because something is nostalgic doesn't mean that it's like for the general populace is like a classic or
Right.
or great. You know,
So
it could be personal.
Is this a sneak diss on Griselda?
Might
I don't
be.
know.
I don't know.
But I mean, a lot of things have stood the test of time,
Yeah.
and like you brought up certain cartoons or whatnot that didn't. The Transformers movies still go.
That still
Animation-
holds up.
Yeah, animation is still
It's
dope.
still incredible.
When we're talking about nostalgic albums, I just brought up Parliament Funkadelic. If you go back and listen to some Parliament Funkadelic right now, if that's your thing, you want to hear some funk, it's still going to hold up.
Right.
A lot of classic albums that weren't just deemed classic because somebody felt a certain way. You can go back and listen to those albums and they sound timeless. That's one of the keys too, I think. It's something that's timeless. So like if you can't really pinpoint where this is from, but it's from the past and it's nostalgic, then that cannot be classified as a scam.
I agree. I actually like that you said that because I've had this conversation before as it relates to how music, like how certain music will age. And a lot of the older music that either my mama was playing or we grew up on, I'm looking at myself and I'm listening to, I'm listening to Stevie the other day.
Mm-hmm.
One of his, probably his second, third or fourth album. I think it was The Talking Book. And I'm like, I wasn't even born when this album came out. And it sounds amazing right now. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds great. And we weren't even around when some of this music was coming out. We didn't even thought of when he was recording these records. And they're great records today. Al Green. Like, all the James Brown. Like, when you hear Payback, we wouldn't even thought about. Great records, though. So I think things do age, but I feel him on certain ones because, like you said, we all can point out joints where it's like,
no.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's probably.
That wasn't it.
I think that's what he's probably pointing at because I can always for all the great records that we're talking about that were like spectacular, right? And they hold the test of time.
There's a million trash ones.
There's a whole bunch of them too that I can think
That
of.
we enjoyed when they were out.
Exactly. I really like this Noriega record, and I listen to it now and be like, what did I like about it?
Right.
You could even go to
And
Stevie.
shouts to Noriega. I don't mean to, but
Yeah, I see your
But
point.
you
But
could even go to somebody's legendary Stevie Wonder because I remember, when he was singing "I Just Called to Say I Love You" on the Cosby Show when they was jamming on the one and all that. Like I listened to that song now, I was like, this is horrible.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I love Stevie
Don't do
Wonder,
that.
but I hate that song.
Don't do that now.
It's not. I can't say it's one of my favorites.
I mean, Stevie got some. Go ahead, Lone. Don't lose your train of thought.
No,
I'm
I was
sorry.
just going to say, like, to what you're saying, I think that's probably what he's aiming at. Is just like, because I can think of a whole bunch of, when I think back to a certain era, one thing recently for me, and I've mentioned it on the show in the last few weeks, I think we were talking about early 2000s, like Rockefeller production outside of really Kanye West and some Just Blaze. Like, a lot of that stuff was corny to me. And at the time, I liked it. And I listen to it now and I'm like, what was I liking about this? Was it just because it was popular at the time? Because I wanted to like it? I don't know. It's like this psychological thing where I'm like trying to take myself back to a specific time.
But in the same token, and I always go back to this album for some reason, that Nas, what was that? Not God's Son.
Nostradamus.
No, not Nostradamus.
I was right about Nostradamus.
Not Nostradamus. Right before Nostradamus.
I am.
I am.
I like I am.
I do too, but there's tracks on there that was trash
Absolutely
then and
horrible.
they're trash now.
Absolutely horrible.
But other than that, the album still goes.
Yeah.
Hold on, what I Am was the was that this?
we at the Pharaoh or the King Tut.
Oh, is that the one?
Money
where
is my expletive.
Yeah, and then he was he had the song with Aaliyah, "You Won't See Me
You Won't
Tonight."
See Me Tonight
Trash.
is so trash.
Uh,
I've never liked that song.
But New York
and
State of Mind.
I had
wanna
nice
talk to the
speakers in my car.
mayor,
Trash.
and the president. I was like,
He had the song about safe sex.
Dr. Knockboot.
Dr. Knockboot
Still like
was
Dr.
cool.
Knockboot.
Yeah,
Listen.
I like that. I can't say the beat
That was the B side to Nas's like.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Why?
To your point, that's funny you said that because
Actually,
That's
now I
one
think
I-
about that song is trash.
that's one. That's one that I'm Nostradamus. The whole thing outside of Project Windows. Project Windows is one of Nas's coldest songs to me, but it's on his worst album. Right? But I am
that's
got
when-
some holes in it.
but that's
Major
when
holes.
bootlegging started changing.
You know what,
because
though?
that was supposed to be
What?
a double album that, and a lot of things were messed up.
But-
a lot of good stuff wound up on the first Lost tapes.
Go ahead.
But what I'll say is that, like, I Am is still an album that I hold on to by Nas because of nostalgia.
Yeah, see, that's being honest. That's keeping it
Because,
in the
like,
book.
there's, what's the Street Song 2 or what's the Part 2 song? Why can't it? New York State
New
of
York
Mind.
State of Mind Part
That's
Two.
hard. Still hard.
It's really dope, right? And so he's got a handful that are really dope. And then he's got some I'm like, eh.
See, this goes
But
to
Nas's Like was one of my favorites at the time.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorites.
I can dig that because
I'm not mad at
when
that.
we talk about Mac just got out of prison. Shout out to Mac.
Yeah.
Shell Shock was one of the best No Limit albums
Ever.
in my personal opinion when it came out.
Yep.
And me and Spoolz go back and forth on this too because we both agreed that it was a classic.
Yeah.
Or it was the best, one of the
Right.
best No Limit albums.
Yeah.
I went back and listened to it like within the last year, and I almost couldn't stomach it.
That's how it was with Silk the Shockers, Charge It to the Game too.
Mm.
Or Charge It.
No,
Nah, just Charge
you
It to
talking
the
about
Game.
you talking about no, he's talking about
Hold on,
there's
hold
one
on.
after Charge to the Game.
No. I'm talking about the one that's got It Ain't Your Fault.
That's Charge to the Game.
Okay, yeah, I screwed that up. But
I know what you're talking about though.
I liked that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me tell you about a
The
song.
ad libs out rap Silk. Like,
Let me tell you about a song I liked, and I played it maybe about a month ago, and I was like, this is certifiably awful.
Give me something.
Jay-Z had a song with Mariah Carey off Volume 3 called The Things That You Do with Swizz Beatz did it, and like, this song is awful.
Every little thing that you do.
No.
that's
Oh,
Ja
I'm thinking
Rule.
that.
No, that's Ja Rule.
I know what you're talking about. And the
It
beat
has,
was
it
real.
has this flute on it. That
Yeah.
I loved that record in the year 2000. I listened to it a year ago.
Yo.
I was like, this is
That song is
awful.
trash.
Jay-Z probably don't even remember the words to that song.
That's one of the songs you was talking about that did not get blessed by Kanye West or
Just Blaze.
I
mean,
or
yeah.
They're
Bink
like-
or none of them cats.
they're like, let's try a DJ Son over
no.
here.
That was that's probably not just
Swiss.
Swiss. It's probably a Swiss track because the way it sounded.
No, it is a Swiss track,
Yeah.
and it's terrible.
That ain't it.
Swiss was so hot and cold. Like he would
Yeah,
either be
yeah.
on or just
And they get on me
off.
when I say that, man. Swiss is a legend, man. But when you start stacking him up,
Like Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, and Swizz Beatz, that is a marriage made in hell.
yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. Like I'm 100% cool on that record, and I used to play it. But
Yeah, me too. I used to put it on every one of my little mix. I was burning CDs for people.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all gonna
Oh,
get
you
on
was that
this.
you was that guy, huh? How much they hit for?
Sure. What? I did what I had to do. Don't.
I ain't gonna put you out there. What they say, statute limitations.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I think a man should never, ever, ever cry. Do-no-no-no-no.
What song is that?
Red August, man. Listen, get your people, man.
Cameron with the
Oh, you know what another?
Oh, my God.
Another record
With Joel
by
Santana.
Nas. Black Girl Lost. I hate that record now.
Time out. Wait a minute. Whoa.
I hate Summer on Smash.
Wait a minute.
We never liked Summer on Smash.
Hold up.
That song was trash.
Hold up.
No.
Black, you don't like how? You don't
had
like
JoJo
Black Girl
on it.
Lost?
No.
Are you
I like Black Girl
serious?
Lost. That gives me that might classify as the whole nostalgic thing because that song puts me in a certain.
But you know what?
Listen. Hey, that's heat. I'm sorry.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, that song is fire.
I didn't like
He
the song.
sang it a little better
I didn't
than
like
that,
that. I didn't like it in 1996. So
I liked it back then.
So
I ain't gonna. I still like that.
I shouldn't
song.
even put the nostalgia tag on it. I didn't like it then.
Hey, man,
I
you
still
killing
like that song.
you
it's
everything was
nostalgic hate.
everything was
Yeah.
fine till you said Black Girl Lost.
Yeah,
Come
I'm
on.
sorry.
I'm still
I'm
rocking
sorry.
with Black Girl Lost.
Yeah.
man.
Oh man,
Play that in a set. I'm walking off the stage.
Oh
Hey.
my goodness, man! Everything was going so well. All right, I don't think I can reference anything. Y'all pretty much used all the examples. Like,
I mean, I have nostalgia. Legitimately, I have a moment in time with the Supreme Clientele with you specifically, because you came over to my house and picked me up when we went to play for Martin Luther King Jr.'s son,
jazz band,
and in the car you're like, listen to this, and he played
Nutmeg.
the skit. No, you played
was it the skit?
You played the skip track.
Oh, the RZA joint, yeah, where the record skips.
Oh,
he was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
listen to this, and I was like, what is going on? But like Supreme Clientele literally marks time for a specific.
Yeah,
No,
and that album held very well
Yeah, for sure. Even though he's not rapping about anything on a couple of those
at
songs.
all.
No, I mean, like I said, all this applies to every. I mean, it can apply to art. It can apply to music. TV show. It can apply to food.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like honestly, I watch old TV shows because it puts me in a nostalgic feel. It makes
some
me
of
feel
them
like
are good too, though.
it
Some
makes you
of
feel
them.
like a kid. Yeah, some of them are good.
I tried to recommend, like someone talked to me about anime, and I was like, "Oh, have you ever seen Robotech: The Macross Saga?" And they were like,
What?
and then like they were like, "This is terrible."
What did you just say?
Yeah, like you know,
Robotech the Macross
Robocross, because I don't like the rest of it, but the
And Jay Moore
Macross
is like-
part of it.
Wait, is it?
And the thing is, I watched them like because it's on different streaming platforms.
Yeah.
I probably watch that part of Robotech at least once a year. The entire like 36 or
Well, look
37
here, man.
episodes.
I'm gonna end it on this note. Sanford and Son is still classic, and I'm not gonna let you hate on a black father. We're gonna go ahead and end it on that
I
note.
wasn't gonna say nothing about Sanford.
Shout out to Fred G. Sanford.
You get me started on Lester. I'll let you know that Lester was not doing the right thing in 227.
We're not gonna even do that.
If you've enjoyed this segment from the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live chat every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/New Old Heads Network. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. We also invite you to join our private Discord community at newoldheads.com/community.